Welcome to Academic Guru's Tutoring Tuesday, where we answer all of your high school, college, and university questions. If you would like your question to be featured on next week's Tutoring Tuesday, please submit your questions to questions@academicgurusinc.com. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay current with all of our new videos. Today I'll be solving a direct variation equation question that was posed by Kicker, and the question reads, find the direct variation equation of the graph through the points 0, 0, and 1, -2. Write in y equals kx form. Okay, like always, I'll be breaking this down into steps. So for the first step, let's try to understand what the question is asking. We're dealing with a direct variation equation, and we've also been given the formula for that equation, that is y equals kx. In the previous session, we discussed that y equals kx is a linear equation. That is, y varies directly with respect to x. If y represents any of the points along the y-axis, and x represents any of the points along the x-axis, then k is the slope of the graph. That is, it measures the degree or the rate with which y varies with respect to x. We've also been given the 2 points, 0, 0, and 1, -2. If we were to plot these points on a graph, it would look something like this, where 0, 0 could be called our first point that represents the values for x1 and y1, and point 1 at -2 represents x2 at y2. In other words, we've decided to label point 0, 0 as point 1 and point 1 at -2 as point 2. This becomes important because the next step requires that we solve for the slope, that is k. The reason being is that when we refer back to the original question, which is asking us to find the direct variation equation and to write it in the y equals kx form, we can see from our option that only the constant changes from a, b, c, and d. In a previous session, we discussed that in order to calculate the slope, or the k value of a linear equation, you simply have to calculate the rise over the run, or in other words, the difference in the y values of the points divided by the difference in the x value of the points. Since we've already labeled our points on the graph, it makes it easy now to calculate the slope. That is, y2 minus y1 is simply -2 minus 0, and this is divided by x2 minus x1, which is simply 1 minus 0. If we calculate this, we find that the slope k is equal to -2. Now we can move on to the third step, which requires that we write the direct variation equation in the y equals kx form. Given that we now know that k is equal to -2, the direct variation equation becomes y equals -2x, and therefore B is the correct answer. So there you are, Kicker. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you for tuning into our Tutoring Tuesday channel. If you enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful, please give us a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. We would love to hear from you. Until next week's Tutoring Tuesday, happy studying.